Hey guys, it's Kathy. I'm back after a almost 7 month little YouTube absence. Just been really busy and didn't have time to do it. And I actually have a lot of stuff to show you guys that I've made, but some blogs I found and some other cool stuff. So we'll just get started. Today is February 3rd, 2018. We've got a brand new year, which has been so far so good. I've got a lot of stuff, actually quite a bit to show you. So I'm just going to start with the first thing I'm going to show you. Last time I podcasted was July of last year, and in August of last year we had a little event, the total solar eclipse, and it actually where we were at, I live in Oregon, where we were at, certain spots were 100% totality. We were at 99 point something, thinking it was going to be the whole thing. It wasn't. It was still pretty spectacular, and I'll try to put a couple photos in. The people that drove or flew to Portland and then went to either just south of us in Salem or into Central Oregon, they got complete totality, and they said it was spectacular. But what I made a couple of days after the eclipse, there was a free pattern online at Crocheted Eclipse. So I made a little solar coaster. Isn't that cute? It's kind of been blown out. Anyway, it's really easy to make. The hardest part about this thing is sewing and crocheting on black yarn is just a giant pain. Even if you've got really good lighting, it's still really hard on your eyes. So people wanted me to make more of these. I know I can because it's really not hard. I just never got around to it. But anyway, that was kind of cool. And if you just Google it, I don't remember who the maker was, but if you just Google free crocheted eclipse, solar eclipse, you'll find it online. So that was way back in August. I got to test crochet quite a few things. First one I got to test crochet was this little guy. He's a really cute baby octopi. Really cute. And it's two different colors. This was pattern, it's a paid pattern that I got to test in, I think it was also in August, and it's by the Scandalous Tea Party online. Really easy to do, fun. Only difference, and I've got a few other ones I'll show you, not of this, but different patterns. You do have to sew the bottom to the top. So I haven't made a bunch of these. I have a friend, Krista, who has, but they're just kind of fun little squishy. Who doesn't love a cute little squishy? Another thing I've made, which is baby jellyfish. It's a free pattern from Holly of Storyland Amos, and I love her patterns. It's an adorable little crocheted jellyfish. And oops, I've made quite a few. I sold quite a few at craft fairs this fall. Really simple, pretty quick to make. It's the top, this part, and then you gotta just sew the bottom part on. But isn't he cute? And if you haven't, check out, Holly's got a great Instagram feed and just great patterns. Some are paid for, some are free. Check out Holly at Storyland Amos. Another thing, I've got a lot of them, that I was fortunate enough to test crochet was for Lauren at a Menagerie of Stitches. She has got some awesome patterns. And I got to make this guy. And he's a daisy. You could also do, with the same pattern, a sunflower. Doesn't take too terribly long. The hardest, most time-consuming part is just sewing, all the body parts, which I love sewing body parts. My favorite part of crocheting. Anyway, it's fun. Little pattern. This is a paid-for pattern, and if you go to a Menagerie of, a Menagerie of Stitches, she's got tons of great patterns. Next up, which was closer to October of last year, my favorite crochet designer by far, none, is Sarah from Repeat Crafter Me, and she had not one but two really great free patterns that are on her blog. First one that I'm actually going to give both of these to my sister-in-law, who's coming up from California in a couple weeks. She's the world's biggest Disney fan, Mickey Mouse fan. Two really cute. So Mickey, I guess he kind of looks tilted the way that I sewed him on. So this is, you can see, I got a little cat fluff, sorry about that. And I didn't actually glue hot glue like you're supposed to, the bottom. So this is just what it sits in. I got these guys from, I think it was, yeah, it was Joann's, and I got a little mixed, but I got them on sale because they're like really expensive. It was like 25 bucks, and I'm like, I'm not spending 25 bucks on a, yeah. But hot glued the ears, and you actually make 2 of these because they're double-sided ears, so they're extra strong. So that was the first one I made. Oops. For Halloween, and he sat up front with me while we had trick-or-treaters come up. And then a few days later, you can't leave Mickey without Minnie, she put together a Minnie Mouse pattern. How cute is that? Isn't that cool? Man, you don't realize the fuzz until you get closer. And you just hot glue them. And yeah, it was super cool. I was going to send them to my sister-in-law for Christmas, but when I started doing the math on how much it was going to cost to ship them, and then I didn't want anything to actually happen to them, I was like, forget it. And then when they found out she was coming up, I'm going to give them to her in a couple weeks. That was cool. Speaking of Halloween, our daughter, Charlotte, decided to be a social butterfly for Halloween. So I will insert at the beginning or the end pictures. She had us print off some stuff. We laminated them, and then she had a pair of butterfly wings, and she was a social butterfly. So she had Pinterest and Instagram and Snapchat icons printed out and all over her body. So that was kind of actually hilarious. And then when we did right after Halloween, we flew mid-November. We flew down to Tucson. My dad and his new wife, Jenny, Dad sold the house up here that I grew up in May of last year, and they bought an amazing house down in Tucson, and they've fallen in love with the house and the property. And after Victor, Charlotte, and I spent a few days down there, except for the summers, I can totally see why people move to Arizona. It is very nice. I would go a little stir crazy because of the brown, but where they live, it's amazing. So we got to spend a few days with them. The real reason we were going down there was my in-laws were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. So the 3 of us flew down, stayed with Dad and Jenny, and then got to spend time with my in-laws and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and their 3 kids, and then my mother-in-law's brother and his wife, Uncle Donald, and Sue. So that was really cool. So that was in November. And on the way home on the airplane, because of course I have to take crocheting, I had seen an ad on a thing on Instagram. Whoops, that was not what I was going to show you next. For the American Heart Association, during the month of, right now, the month of February is had volunteers crochet and knit. It's called, making sure I say it right, Little Hats, Big Hearts. And on the way back, I crocheted a few, and then myself and my friend Rosemary ended up crocheting 100 each, 100 baby caps. Donated them in early January, and then a couple weeks later went down to Portland to the office where we donated them. Some other volunteers had actually washed them, but we got to help assemble them, and I'm going to insert a picture at the end. Really cool. They were overwhelmed with the amount of hats that were made by the volunteers. They had what I saw, not a typical garbage bag, but the big black, huge, like yard debris garbage bags. 26 of those jammed with hats. It was just overwhelming how many hats they received. It was heartwarming. Anyway, so the hats then during the whole month of February will be given to any newborn in the local Portland hospitals. This is going on all over the country, so if you're a crocheter or knitter and are interested, next year just look up the American Heart Association, and they've got links off all of their regional websites on how to get involved. I know I don't want to crochet with red yarn anytime soon. I'll probably make some more next year, but I really kind of had nightmares about red yarn for a while. I know there's other, besides the chemo hats and stuff like that, I know other hospitals locally are needing hats for newborns, and there's other causes, so I need to look those up. But the nice thing was the hat pattern we were using, it was pretty easy. I mean, obviously it was easy, but not hugely time consuming. I could get one done in a half an hour. So that means I spent around, well, give or take 50 plus hours making those 100 hats. And it was great getting to do that. So that was November. During December, I had made a ton of, myself and my friend Rosemary made a ton of just crocheted items. And we had 3 or 4 craft fairs, and then another friend of ours, Rose, helped us sell at different craft fairs. But we sold over $1,000 worth of toys, and just like this one isn't done, but it's an example of one of the crocheted before crocheted octopus that's a free pattern. These are actually the patterns normally used for the preemie NICU preemie octopi, but I hurt my wrist last year trying to use a smaller hook and smaller yarn. So I'm making these full size, but I am not donating them to the NICU, but everything I sell, all the proceeds are going to the American Cancer Society. So I've got a whole bunch of these guys over here that I've gotten various stages that I'm working on. So that was kind of December. Few other new patterns. There was a pattern. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I can't remember. Yes, it's squishy. It was a paid for pattern, a squishy by Carla of I Dream of Yarn, and I had to. It's just cute. I made a couple of these. They're super fun. I made them after the craft fair, so I've kind of got a queue started. But this one, you make the top and then you make the bottom and the tentacles and then sew them together. But super cute. Another free pattern that, another crocheter that I love her designs, the Geeky Hooker. She does a lot of, what's it called? Not indie, just pop culture type things. And the last Star Wars movie came out in mid-December, The Last Jedi. I'll be honest, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. We saw it the day it came out. I left kind of, it wasn't anything I could point my finger at. It seemed really choppy. The storyline, the scenes, just everything about it. But one of the best parts of the whole movie were the little, that had absolutely no value in the movie, but they were adorable. The island, the planet, whatever you call it, the island that Luke goes to and he's kind of exiled himself, where the Jedi Temple is. There are these little creatures that we never saw in the last year's movie, but all of a sudden they're here, or 2 years ago. Porgs, P-O-R-G. And the Geeky Hooker came out with a free pattern. So yeah, you can kind of see how size. And this was my first attempt. There's some yarn changes, and I don't like the way I did part of this. And then you gotta you have to sew on body parts. But this is my first one. And I'll probably I know I need to make more because people have already asked me. But it was easy to do, but I don't know, for some reason I didn't really get my, I don't know, I haven't made more of them yet. I need to. So that was a porg. Recently, that was after December, and then recently, again, Sarah from Repeat Crafter Me, who, if you guys don't follow her, her Instagram or Facebook and her blog, fantastic stuff. Her thing lately has been working with Burnett blanket yarn, which is really smushy yarn that you need. I think I've been using a size P or L. I get confused. It's one of the bigger clover hooks that I really like. Anyway, she came out with this owl pattern, and of course I had to make a couple. I didn't have the buttons that she used for the nose, so I just winged it with yarn. But here's one little guy. Cute is he? I think I lost count because I don't think I did enough rows. And then I made his sister. So this is Who, and this is, I think I named her Lou. Isn't she cute? And then maybe if I do this long enough, Facebook will automatically make this the shot, because I still haven't figured out how the heck to make it. I don't know. I'm just going to do this for a while. Anyway, they're super cute. She also, just earlier this week, posted another pattern, same owl, but she does a lot of graphs, like not corner to corner, but it's a heart. So when you're crocheting, you just change colors and it forms a heart. So you make this little heart. It's very cute. I'm gonna have to do it, but I might have to buy more yarn. Oh, speaking of yarn, that's something huge we did that I think are in my notes somewhere. But my daughter, I just gotta point out, Oliver's still sitting there. Look at him. He's like sound asleep. I can't do that very well, but he's out. If the fireplace was on, he'd be in front of the fireplace, but it's actually sunny and warm, but he's totally out. And then the other cat, which you can't see, she's down in the corner we got a new cat bed ball thing for her. But anyway, Charlotte, our daughter, we have three bedrooms upstairs above us, and two are the smaller rooms, and then one is a larger room, which originally we were going to have that as a guest room when we moved in 4 years ago, and then we decided no, so we moved the guest room, but Charlotte got one of the smaller rooms right next to the bathroom. Well, when we moved in, we had our friend Maria Eldon, we call her Eldon because of Murphy Brown. Anyway, we had her paint the room what color Charlotte wanted. I'll put a picture, but this is the color of the room. It's fuchsia. It's bright, fuchsia. So Charlotte wanted it that color. She had it that color for 4 years. Well, we realized that Charlotte needs a little more room, so we couldn't exactly move the guest bed into the fuchsia room. I don't want to paint it yet. So we switched rooms, and it was really good because I have gone through my stash. Now 98% of my yarn is upstairs. I'm going to put a picture at the end, but it's color coordinated. At first I thought I could just put like all the cotton, and then I realized I have so much yarn I've just got to, so it's in wire cabinet, not cabinet, wire like sports racks. We got, it's 25, it's 5 by 5. All my yarn, 99% of it's put away now, which is awesome. Also realized when I was doing that and well, my yarn that I crochet with is organized by color. My knitting yarn, which I haven't been knitting, it's just kind of by, because I don't have a lot of it, which is fine. It's at the bottom row, and it's more like, I don't have enough, like, so purples and blues are together, and lighter colors are together. I think I've got 3 bins, and then I've got like some sock yarn, just Felici and stuff. So it's got 3 of its own bins, and then the Barnett, this stuff has a bin, but I'm getting closer. My cabinet, my sewing cabinet's in there, and the hallway, anything that goes in the room has to be put away, not just dumped. So I've got, I'll put a picture at the end of that. The last thing that I have made in the last week or so is, what is her name? Oh, Holly's Hobby Crafts. It's a free pattern. My friend Krista had made one while I was making this guy. She was making one similar to this. I got the pattern, I made it over 2 nights. And it's another owl. How cute is that? It's got like little heart-shaped, this is pink, it's really blowing out, but isn't it cute? This was actually fun. The only thing is, it took a lot of time. I use my 4.5 hook, and this is all cotton yarn, but there's a lot of just single crochet, and after whipping these guys out, because they're obviously not as, it's bigger yarn, bigger hook, this took a while. So I don't know, this is a one and done, I'm pretty sure, but if you're looking for an adorable owl pattern, it's crocheted and it's a free pattern, just go out to Holly's, I just said it too, Holly's Hobbies Crafts, and she's got other cute patterns out there that I'll probably be checking out. Couple of other things, just kind of cool stuff, and then I've got some 3 podcasts I wanted to tell you about, and I'm gonna pull my notes because I wrote those on the other side. In August, we also, after a 1-year rain delay, for my birthday 2 years ago, Victor and Charlotte got us a hot air balloon ride, and last August, this last summer, we finally got to go. It was very interesting. We had some really bizarre, not weather, but the Canadian wildfires actually impacted Washington and Oregon, and the day before we were supposed to go, it was really smoky, even clear out where we're at. We're western, or well, I explain this. We got Portland. We're west of Portland, but we're like in the foothills of the Coast Range, going over to the Oregon coast. It was still smoky where we are. It just came down really bad. We called that morning, and they texted my husband and said, nope, we're go for launch. So 4:30 in the morning, we drive to Newburgh. It was a great experience. We had a blast. We were in the air for about an hour with the 3 of us and 2 other couples in the pilot. And I can't remember, I think there were 6 or 7 balloons that launched. We weren't up by sunrise because where we were supposed to launch, the wind had shifted, so we didn't actually launch from the Newburgh airport. We had to drive a little ways to St. John's, but then we got to float, and I'm not afraid of heights. None of us are afraid of heights. I could see if someone was afraid of heights, but I never. We were in. We went through the safety spiel. We were in the basket, and they kind of went over safety. If anything, this is what you do. If I say brace for launch or brace for landing, this is what you do. He's talking to us, and the next thing I look down, and we're 2 feet off the ground. We didn't even realize the balloon was going up, and then we realized, oh, we're going up. And anyway, if you get the chance to, unless you're definitely afraid of heights, if you ever get the chance to take a hot air balloon ride, I would highly recommend it. It was a blast. I will do it again. I will do it again, but a different location. Like if we happen to be, not that we go vacations a lot, but if we happen to be somewhere where we could do a balloon again, I would do it. So highly recommend that. A couple other things I wanted to mention, just watching ways, because I haven't been watching a lot, but if obviously The Crown, Netflix, watch it. 2 seasons, great if you haven't seen it. A knitting podcast that my friend Carrie from the Creative Obsession recommended. She's got, I think, 3 podcasts out. She's hilarious, and I think she's from, oh snap, I want to say Illinois, but I think it's Iowa, but she sounds like she's got a Minnesota accent. Chevy Rell, and just Chevy Rell, and she explains her whole, like, that's her name and the whole thing. She's hilarious. There is swearing involved, but it's hilarious. So if you're looking for a cool new knitting podcast, I would go out and check her out. Otherwise, I've got my normal podcast, but I just haven't, I've been focused, and yeah. I did want to mention the 3 crocheting / crafting YouTubers that I discovered. One of them is Jayda, Jayda Crochet and Stitches. She's got a YouTube channel with some great tutorials. I googled crocheted cactus the other day, and because I'd seen something on my Instagram feed. Anyway, Flying Mio, M-I-O, she's got a YouTube channel with a lot of subscribers. She's got some great tutorials. And then the other one I wanted to mention was the studiocrafty.com. They've got a bunch of really good crocheting and sewing tutorials. So anyway, and it sounds like my neighbor's starting to mow the lawn, so I think I'm gonna stop this right now. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. I haven't quite figured out if I'm gonna load this and start a new channel. I think I am. So I probably am, because I haven't been knitting enough, and it's called knitting and it shouldn't be. I'm weeby something. So when I figure it out, you guys will be like the first or second to know, because I'll load it up whenever I get done editing it and all that YouTube stuff. But I think I'm going to rename it, just because weeby knitting isn't fitting since I'm crocheting so much. But I love watching knitting stuff. And oh, look, even Oliver noticed that the neighbor's making noise now. So I think he decided he was going to wake up. So anywho's, I hope everybody's doing good, and take care, be kind, as Ellen would say, and have a great next few weeks, and hopefully I'll be back before next year. Bye.